The 1980s were a time of heightened military spending under President Ronald Reagan. This era marked a significant shift in the United States defense strategy, focusing on building up military capabilities to unprecedented levels. The Cold War raged on, with tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union reaching new heights. The threat of nuclear conflict loomed large, influencing every aspect of defense policy. The United States sought to counter the Soviet Union's military might by investing heavily in advanced weaponry and technology. This included everything from nuclear submarines to stealth bombers. This massive buildup led to lucrative contracts for defense contractors who were eager to capitalize on the government's willingness to spend. Billions of dollars flowed into the industry, fueling rapid growth and innovation. Companies expanded their operations, hiring thousands of workers to meet the demand. Companies competed fiercely for government contracts, often going to great lengths to secure these highly coveted deals. The competition was intense, with each company striving to outdo the others. Amidst this boom, whispers of corruption began to surface. Allegations of unethical practices and backroom deals started to circulate, casting a shadow over the industry's rapid expansion. Concerns arose about potential fraud and bribery, with some insiders suggesting that certain companies were using underhanded tactics to win contracts. Some suspected that companies were inflating prices, charging the government far more than the actual cost of production. This led to questions about the true value of the defense buildup. Others worried about unfair influence in the awarding of contracts, with powerful individuals allegedly using their connections to sway decisions in their favor. These suspicions would soon be confirmed as investigations began to uncover the extent of the corruption. The FBI launched a sweeping investigation known as Operation Ill Wind. The stakes were high, as the probe aimed to root out corruption at the highest levels of the defense industry. The integrity of the defense procurement process was in question, with many wondering how deep the corruption went and who was involved. The very security of the nation seemed to be at risk, as the scandal threatened to undermine public trust in the military and its contractors. Operation Ill Wind promised to expose the truth, vowing to hold those responsible accountable for their actions. It would reveal the extent of corruption within the defense industry, shedding light on the dark underbelly of the 1980s defense buildup and prompting calls for reform and greater oversight. In the mid-1980s, the FBI received a tip-off. It came from a disgruntled consultant who had grown tired of the rampant corruption. He alleged widespread bribery and fraud in the defense industry, implicating several high-ranking officials. This sparked the launch of Operation Ill Wind, a massive undercover operation. The operation quickly gained momentum as more evidence came to light. It became a full-scale investigation involving hundreds of agents and analysts. Undercover FBI agents infiltrated the industry, posing as consultants and businessmen. They attended meetings, social gatherings, and business conferences. The agents built relationships with key players, gaining their trust. They used sophisticated surveillance techniques, including hidden cameras and microphones. Wiretaps were placed on phones, and meetings were secretly recorded to gather incriminating evidence. The agents gathered evidence of a vast network of corruption, involving millions of dollars. The agents' work was dangerous, as they constantly looked over their shoulders. They were dealing with powerful and well-connected individuals who would stop at nothing to protect their interests. The risk of exposure was constant, and the agents had to be vigilant at all times. They were driven by a sense of duty and a commitment to justice. They were determined to expose the truth, no matter the cost, and bring the corrupt to justice. As Operation Ill Wind progressed, the extent of the corruption became horrifyingly clear. What started as a small investigation quickly snowballed into a massive uncovering of deceit and betrayal. The investigation uncovered a web of deceit that was more intricate than anyone had imagined. Government officials were accepting bribes, and it wasn't just a few isolated incidents. It was a widespread practice that had infiltrated multiple levels of the government. They were trading information for personal gain, compromising national security for their own benefit. Defense contractors were inflating prices, manipulating charts, and creating false reports to justify their exorbitant fees. They were offering kickbacks to secure lucrative contracts, ensuring that the cycle of corruption continued unabated. Undercover recordings captured damning conversations, revealing the true extent of the corruption. These recordings provided irrefutable evidence of the crimes being committed, leaving no room for doubt. The recordings revealed the brazenness of the participants, who spoke openly about their illegal activities. They seemed unconcerned about being caught. They acted with impunity, believing they were untouchable. One recording captured a contractor boasting about his ability to influence contract awards, showing just how deep the corruption ran. He claimed to have certain officials in his pocket, indicating a level of control that was both shocking and disturbing. Another recording caught a government official soliciting a bribe, further highlighting the pervasive nature of the corruption. He offered to provide classified information in exchange for money. The evidence was overwhelming, painting a clear picture of the greed and corruption that had taken hold. It painted a grim picture of greed and corruption, a stark reminder of the lengths some would go to for personal gain.